Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are back for another Raiti's Rides episode with a garage vehicle. Right behind me, you know what it is. It's my 2023 Demon 170. But before we get into this muscle car made for the strip, let's talk about what's going on here. So I've been getting a lot of messages from people, a lot of emails asking me, Joe, I'm interested in getting a Demon 170. I've seen that some of the prices have kind of leveled off and I want to pull the trigger, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid of doing it. And it's not so much that they're afraid of the Demon 170. They're afraid of what they have heard when it comes to issues with the Demon 170. Now, of course, there's always going to be something that pops up with someone's vehicle. None of these vehicles are 100% perfect, and none of the vehicles that I own in the Raiti's Rides garage do I consider 100% perfect, including the Demon 170. But I want to talk about some of these fears that some of you have reached out about and really kind of walk you through whether you should get yourself a Demon 170. They only made 3,300 of them, 3,000 here in the United States. And the good news is for you is that the prices have been leveling out. But will that last forever? That's what we're going to talk about. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Strap yourself in to that front seat with me, and we're going to go for a little spin and talk about those fears with the Demon 170. Alright guys, we're inside my Demon 170 and I want to kind of talk you through some of these fears that you might be having about getting a Demon 170. Now, of course, when you go on the internet, there are a lot of different things that are being posted. And many a time what you're going to read, probably I would say 90% of the time, and this goes for any car, you usually see bad things. Bad news sells, and bad news gets the most attention. Now, when it comes to what you're seeing and what you're reading, obviously everybody's going to have their viewpoint, everybody's going to have their perspective, and everybody's going to have unique experiences. There are those. I'm not here saying that nobody's had issues with their Demon 170, because there are those that unfortunately have, including motor replacement issues. So my heart goes out to those people that have had issues, and from what I understand, Dodge has handled them by getting them replacement engines. Now, is it guaranteed that if you get a Demon 170, the engine's going to let go? Of course not. How can anybody say that all Demon 170s are going to blow an engine? Or any vehicle, for that matter, will blow an engine? You can't. That's literally impossible. Second of all, when it comes to durability, when it comes to drivability, it all comes down to each individual owner. If you're the type of person that stays on top of maintenance, that does extra maintenance, you have mechanical sympathy, you have had other high performance vehicles where you've had to go beyond what maybe even the owner's manual claims that you should be doing, then it shouldn't be an issue. And I know, listen, I know already from the experience of some of my other videos that there's going to be a lot of haters out there. I mean, there always are. But at the end of the day, anything that anybody says to me online is not going to hurt my feelings. I was a high school history teacher for 18 years, and I was called everything under the sun. So, listen, it doesn't bother me, but I'm just here to kind of tell you my perspective. Now, some of the other vehicles that I've owned and that I currently own, like for example, my Subaru WRX STI, there's tons of stuff. If you're looking at getting a Subaru STI, there's tons of information out there of people having ringland issues, head gasket issues, all sorts of things. But it's one of those things that you kind of have to just, if you want the car, just have that in your back of your mind to stay on top of certain things, like changing your oil, like making sure you're not beating the hell out of the car. And hopefully those problems won't happen. The good news is that if you buy a car like the Demon 170 that has a warranty, so far so good, Dodge has been living up to their end of the bargain, replacing engines. Had the recall done for all 3,300 Demon 170s when it comes to the spark plugs. So it's one of those things that you can't just say every car is going to have an issue. It's just not accurate. But let's go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. Whoa! Breaking that traction. I tell ya, for the price of admission, this is like having your own amusement park ride. It really is. This car is something special. And the fact that you put the E85 in, you don't have to fumble with anything, it's good to go. Those are one of the many things that makes this car unique. Now, the good news is prices have leveled off. I mean, if you go on Bring a Trailer, there's been examples of Demon 170s with new mileage, 20 miles, 17 miles, 30 miles. They've been selling for around, depending on options and color, they've been selling for around 135, 140, which is a far cry from where we were at when the Demon 170 was being launched, and there were dealers that were marking theirs up 100 grand over sticker. Please remember that I bought my own vehicle. I was not given a special discount, and I do not get paid by Dodge to make any of these videos. I just want to kind of also talk about the good side of the Demon 170. When I have a good experience, when I'm having no issues, because like I said, most of the time when you go online, all you're gonna see are the bad things. Not many people post that they had a good experience driving their Demon 170 on any particular day. But should you be afraid of getting a Demon 170? I don't think so. I think it's almost like any other kind of specialty car that issues can arise and you work around those issues. You know, one example I could give you that I regret, when I used to ride sport bikes, I always wanted an Aprilia. I wanted an Aprilia very badly. And I'm not even talking about like the most current, like RS4 or anything like that. I'm talking about like when it was the Miele 1000 with the big V-twin, excuse me. I have Dodge Viper on my mind right now. I've been thinking about Dodge Vipers a lot. And it had the V-twin in it, and I remember I wanted one so badly, and I never bought one, because guess what? Anytime I went on a forum or on a website or anything like that, of course, there were tons of stories of the issues that people were having when it came to the motorcycles. And in my area, there was just one Aprilia dealership. It wasn't close by, and because of all the things I read, I never bought one. And I regret it. I regret that decision, because they're very special motorcycles, they're very unique motorcycles, and you know, because I let that fear consume me, I never swung a leg over one of them, and to this day it kind of bums me out. So don't let people scare you from a particular car, because like I said, every car is going to have its issues, and some cars have issues that are very unique to them, and many owners deal with them. But you know, you just got to ask: is the orange, is the juice worth the squeeze? And for me, I mean, the Demon 170, like I said, it's the most powerful production muscle car meant for the drag strip to ever be produced. So when you're pushing things to the limit like that, of course, things can pop up. Let's go on throttle again. On throttle, here we go. Nice. I tell you, man, you look down at the speedometer and you're like, what? What's my speed? And the torque flight, the way they have the transmission programmed to work with the Demon 170 engine, I mean, it's like peanut butter and jelly, man. It works so freaking well together. Upshifts and downshifts. But like I said, at the end of the day, you need to do what's right for you. You need to do what you want to do, and obviously it's your money. But I'm here to tell you that I've had my Demon 170 for more than a year, and I've had no issues with it. And I had the recall done, and I've been changing my oil. It's been running flawlessly. Now, will it continue to run flawless? We'll have to wait and see, but I'm going to stay on top of everything, just like I do with any of my other cars. But the fact that there's a lot of people making decisions just off of what they're reading or what they're watching online, and hey, here I am doing the same thing. So, you know, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Go ahead and give me your comments in the section below, and let me know how much you hate me and all that other stuff. That's fine with me. I don't care. But I'm just trying to give you my perspective. And you know, I grew up in my dad's mechanic shop. My dad had a mechanic shop for 30 years. Learned everything that I know about an internal combustion engine from him. Used to do a lot of racing when I was younger, both at the strip and on the street. I raced cars professionally, road course, formula cars for 4 years after college. And I'm just trying to take some of that experience from the past and use it for what's in front of us today. But I'm hoping that this helps calm down some of your nerves. You can't live in fear, man. You can't make decisions just based off of fear. It's going to hold you back from some amazing experiences. And if you've been eyeballing a Demon 170, I mean, it is an amazing experience, especially once you put that E85 in and that 1,025 horsepower. Like I said, just make sure you're taking care of her. You have that mechanical sympathy. And I think that everything in the end will work out perfect for you. Just a special car. That's all I can say. And it's such a standout. And it's going to be interesting to see 10, 15 years from now how people remember the Demon 170, how the Demon 170 is going to be value-wise. That's all yet to be determined. But if you're looking for one, and especially if you want one with barely showroom miles, the time is right now to pick one up. But I'm hoping that this has been helpful. We're going to get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. Hi guys. Anytime I could get behind the wheel of one of my own cars from the Raity's Rides garage is always a good day, especially my Demon 170. But I hope this helped you. I hope this kind of gave you some insight from my perspective of what I've experienced, what I've seen going through the interwebs, and really how it relates to other vehicles that you might be thinking about at this particular price point. But let me know if it's been helpful for you in that comment section. Let me know if you like to see these types of Raity's Rides garage vlogs, so to speak, in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. Gotta give it up to LGR. She's the muscle behind the lens. Can't do it without her. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.